guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with a video I'm really excited to film, and I had this idea, and then Jen from the Book Refuge posted the same exact video yesterday, so I will link her video down below, and that is romances with killer heroes or heroines, and someone in the book is a killer, whether they are a serial killer or killer for like a mafia organization or a hired assassin. I really like romances like these because sometimes it's like they're hired to kill the love interest and then they fall in love, so I will go ahead and get to my recommendations. This video is definitely inspired from me just finishing Unhinged by Onley James. I read this about a week ago and I'm still obsessed with it, and this one is dark. Like, all of these are pretty dark, but it's very sweet with the romance. It is an romance. Our hero Adam is one of, I think, 7 kids who were adopted by their adoptive father, who's a doctor, and he adopted orphans that are psychopaths, and he is harnessing their needs and desires into good so that they only kill bad people. And so he tells them who they can kill, and they get their like desires out to kill people. And so Adam, one of his first kills was the other love interest, I'm blanking on his name, but his dad. And so his dad was a bad person, but he doesn't know that, the child of the bad guy. And so he just saw Adam kill him, and he's wanted to track him down ever since. And it's been like 10 years, and he tracks him down, and Adam's like, you want to know what your dad did? And so they end up forming this adorable romance. It's still pretty steamy, but they just are so cute together, and I love them, and they end up teaming up to kill someone. So I really love this book, and I'm excited to continue on the series. They're all serial killers for good, so I'm excited to see where the series goes, and all the other brothers, because we got to meet them in this book and they were so fun, so I'm excited. The next duet you knew was going to be on this list is There Are No Saints and There's No Devil by Sophie Lark. This one are 2 competing serial killers, and they're artists and they're wealthy, and so our heroine's actually kind of like a starving artist. She's trying to make her way in the art world. She lives with a ton of roommates, and she gets kidnapped by a serial killer who leaves her for dead for his enemy, who is our hero, and our hero finds her, and he like wants to save her and help her. He doesn't, and things go on from there. Obviously she survives, but he becomes very obsessed with her and like rents out the building across the street so he could watch her. So he is obsessed with her, and she is not your little docile, just innocent, I'm just gonna let anything happen to me kind of heroine. She pushes him and plays games with him, and it is amazing. I love this so much. I didn't love the ending of the duet as much because there was so much more just like angst and tension and playing games in this one, and the second one it's just them dealing with things from their past. So I still love this first book so much, so I keep on recommending it. People do love the second one. I didn't love it as much, but you have to read the series. Then another one I recommend all the time is Born Darkly by Trisha Wolfe. This is another duet, and our heroine's actually a psychologist, and she is put on the case of the hero who is going to court, and she has to like help out with the court thing. I don't know the lingo for that, but she ends up having to interview him a lot, and they fall for each other. And he knows what he's doing, and she can't help herself, and it's so good. He's another hero that kind of like kills off bad people, but he's obviously a serial killer, so I just really love this whole dynamic between them and how they like are allowed to be alone together because she is his psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever, and it was just a lot of fun, and I really liked it. Then we have Priest by Gianna Darling. I left my copy up there and I don't feel like getting it, but this one, Priest is the killer for the fallen MC. This is book 6 in the series. It is really long, but Priest is pretty dark. Bea really balances him out very well because she is religious and she's like the good girl, but her and Priest get along really well, and there's a lot of dark things in here, so not that going in, but Priest just feels like he can never be a good person, and he kills a lot, and I really love this book. I definitely recommend reading the series in order though. Technically you can read them as standalones. I know a lot of people end up even skipping book 1 and going straight to book 2, but there is like an overarching kind of plot that makes more sense if you read it all together. Technically, yes, you can read it as standalone, but this one definitely, I think, the darkest romance out of the series. I have one historical, which I feel like is obvious to be on this list, and that's The Hunter by Kerrigan Byrne. He's an assassin. He's hired to murder our heroine, who is a single mom and an actress, but he can't bring himself to do it. And so there's actually another person then brought on to murder her, so then he ends up protecting her, and it is so good. There's a secret about her and her son and why someone wants to murder her, and I just love their dynamic so much because he literally tries to kill her instead of killing her. He kisses her. Like, that is the premise of this book, and it's just so good. He has has a very, very dark past though. This is a really dark historical romance series, and so he grew up in prison with his mom. Like, I think he was born in prison. So he did see a lot of bad things happen to his mom, and she died in prison, so he's a very dark background, but so good if you want a historical romance of this trope. Then I have one that is blowing up on TikTok right now, and it makes me happy because I really, really loved this series last year. I recommended it last year, so hopefully you read it after I told you last year, but it is the Mindf series by St. Abby. Our heroine is actually a serial killer killing off bad guys. I feel like that's a common trope. I feel like it's like makes it kind of morally okay. Like, you're murdering people, but you're murdering people who are bad. And so these guys are bad that she's killing off. You figure out what they did like 4 books in. It's very dark, and she's dating an FBI profiler who's profiling serial killers. He's put on her case, but he's also on another case that kind of intertwines in here as well, and I love it so much. Our heroine is just so kick butt. She can like take care of herself, and it's so good what she does in this series. Oh, just thinking about it, I'm like, I should reread this because it is just amazing. I love really strong, independent heroines, and since she's a serial killer, like, she knows how to take down a man. She obviously kills him for a living, so good. The tension between her and I think it was Logan, maybe, her boyfriend, is just so good because she's trying to hide the fact that she's killing people and he's literally working her case. So amazing. You're gonna want to pick this series up. Then I have The Hitman by Katrina Jackson. This one, he is a hitman for the mafia, and it's actually fun because our heroine was engaged, finds her fiance cheating on her, goes on their honeymoon anyways alone. She's mad. He's actually next door to her, and he's on vacation, and he is very intrigued by her. They're intrigued by each other, and then someone comes and tries to kill him and thinks that she's connected to him, and so they're on the run together. And so I really, really love that aspect where she's not really involved in the whole assassin aspect, but kind of gets like roped into it, and they like have to go on the run together. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy this one. Definitely enjoy this series, and I'm excited to read more in this series. And the last one is All Things Burned by Jodie Slaughter. This one, our heroine actually hires the hero to kill someone for her. She is being stalked by someone, and she's finally fed up with it and is going to take it into her own hands, and hires our hero to do it for her, to kill her stalker. And it was a really fun book. It wasn't perfect. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars, but I think if you're into that kind of trope, you'll really enjoy this book. I think I really loved the first half of the book more than the second half, so that's why I gave it 3.5 stars, but I think this is still a recommendation I want to give because it has that trope of like she hires him as an assassin. She knows exactly what she's getting into, and I really enjoy that aspect about this book. So check it out if it sounds interesting to you, but know that I did not love the second half as much as the first half. And those are some romance recommendations with some killer love interests. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any recommendations. I know there's a lot more out there that I'm excited to read, and please check out Jen's video as well. I'll link it down below. And that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.